Hello, everybody. Hello. And today is Monday morning, and it is actually 6 o'clock. Before I begin this video, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe to this video. Please smash the likes. And don't forget to share. All right, now, you wonder why I'm smiling? Well, yesterday's game was a surprise, a thrilling victory. It wasn't the victory that a lot of people was hoping for, but it was a victory. We have swept the entire AFC North. We beat Pittsburgh, we beat Baltimore, we beat Cleveland, and we beat the Bengals. It was a 4-team sweep at the entire conference. The Eagles are 12-2 for it. Like I said, that was an excellent game. 27-13. The Eagles could easily put up 30 points on this team, but they won the game it won the game by 2 scores actually. But it was a beautiful thing. Pittsburgh are still 10-4. They still got a winning record, and we got the overall best record between us and Detroit, who, by the way, lost, which I'll be getting into later into the video, and what that does for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's get into the game recap. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the player stats. Well, actually, we'll start player stats. We'll start with the scoring in each round. The Eagles, for the first time in several weeks, have scored in the first quarter. That's been a problem for us all season. I think the Eagles got 3 or 4 games this year that we've scored the first quarter, but majority of them have been no first quarter scores. Been mostly second, third, and fourth. The half of the first half and all of the second half that the Eagles we did most of the scoring. And what I wanted to say, I might have said something in that sentence, so disregard it. 10 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, then they went into the third quarter, only got 3, and then we scored 7 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles kept Pittsburgh scoreless in the second half of the game. It's 0-0. They only had 13 points. They got all their points mostly in the first half. So then go ahead with the player statistics right quick. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Eagles, and I'm gonna get with Pittsburgh as well. Hurts had a pretty good outing. 25 of 32. 290 yards, a 9.1 average, 2 touchdown scores, and a rating with 125.3. That's not bad at all. The rushing, now the Eagles did Pittsburgh did a pretty good job on Saquon Barkley. He didn't get nowhere near 70 yards, but he did have 65 yards on 19 attempts. The average was 3.4. 22 went the long, no score. Hurts went 15 for 45 yards, 3.0. 20 went the long, 1 touchdown, and that was the touch push in the end zone. Kevin Gainwell had 7 carries for 20 yards, 2.9 average, 7 went the long, no score. And Devontae Smith was 1 for 1, 1.01 was his long, no score. Receiving, go to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Both guys had over 100 yards receiving. Brown was 8 for 110. 13.8 was the average. 13.8, 21 was the long, 1 score, and Devontae Smith had 11 touches, which was a career high, according to the NFL. He had 11 receptions for 109, 9.9 was the average. I want 10 yards per average. Well, you can say 10 yards per average because you run 9 to near 10, you get 10 yards. So use it 10 yards. 22 was the long, 1 score. Both receivers scored in the I think I want to say Devontae Smith scored in the first quarter, and I think AJ Brown scored in the second quarter. It's 7 second. It was either, I'm sorry, Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith scored in the first half or the second half, or Brown scored in the first half and the second half. I'm not exactly sure on that. But I got to go back and look at the all 22 and find out how each player scored either first half or the second half. Not exactly sure, so I'll check that out as well. Gainwell had 3 touches for 40 yards, 13.3 was the average, 16 was the long, no score. And Calcaterra was 1 for 22 yards, 22.0, 22, no score. And Barkley was 2 for 9, 4.5, 5 was the long, no score. Defense. Nakobe Dean had 10 tackles, 3 assists, no sacks, no interceptions, one forced fumble. Okay, it's in that order. Zach Bond was 5-0-0-0-0. Nolan Smith, oh man, 4 tackles, 1 assist, 1 sack, 0-0. Blankenship was 3-1-0-0. CJ Gardner-Johnson was 2-0-0-0. Archibald was 2-1, 1-2-0, 1 sack, 0-0. That's 3 sacks right there. Carter was 2-0-0-0, and Milton Williams was 2-2-0-0, and Quentin Kell was 1-0-0-0. Adrian Cleveland was 1-0-0-0. All the rest of them down, Jordan Davis, Hunt, DeJean, and Ojomo, all were 1-0-0-0 for the rest of those guys there. Okay, kick returns. Gainwell was 2 for 63 yards. 31.5 was the average, 32 was the long, no score. Cooper DeJean was 3 for 29 yards, 9.7. 23 was the long, no score. And kicking, okay, Cooper DeJean was punt return. Maybe I'll show you that. This I want to throw it off in case I didn't mention it. Elliott was 2 for 2, 37.5. It's in kicking. 37.5 was the average, 41 was the long. No blocks. He was 3 for 3 on the extra points. And Brian Mann was 1 for 29 yards. 29 was the long. 29.0 was the average. 29 was the long. No touchbacks. No inside the 20-yard line. Okay, that is all the Eagles right there. And I didn't go ahead and get with the Steelers. Wilson was 14-22. 128 yards, 5.8 was the average, 1 touchdown, 9.4 was 94.5 was his average. Hold on just a minute. As you guys see, I'm at work. Shirt says everything. Anyway, I read off Russell Wilson. Here's the rushing. Najee Harris with 6 for 14 yards, 2.3 with the average, 7 with the long, no score. Wilson was 3 for 4 for 13, 3.3 with the average, 8 with the long, no score. And Warren was 4 for 12, 3.0 was his average, 6 with the long, no score. And passing was 2 for 9, 4.5 was the average, 5 with the long, no score. And Fields was 1 for 8, 8.0, 8 with the long, no score. All right, now here's the receiving right here for Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, I need that mark. You Pickens was out for this game. Hold on for a minute. Like I said, Pickens was out for the game. So they only had a receiving committee, a receiving crew by committee. Austin was 5 for 65 yards, 13 was the average, 31 was the long, no score. And Fryermuth was the tight end. He was 3 for 22, 7.3, 12, 1 touchdown score. Matter of fact, it's their long touchdown score. Slovinek was 1 for 17, 17.0, 17, no score. Williams was 1 for 15, 15.0, 15 for long, no score. And Najee Harris was 1 for 7, 7.0, 7 with the long, no score. And Warren was 1 for 3, 3.0, 3 with the long, no score. Jefferson was 1 for 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Was his, and Patterson was 1 for -1, -1.0, -1 to long, no score. All right, defense. Now Pittsburgh was able to contain the run, so here's how their stats is pertain to the run. They had Patrick Queen was 11 for 5 with tackles, with 11 tackles, 5 with the assists, 0, 0, 0. Hines Smith was 8, 2, 1 sack, 0, 0. Fitzpatrick Hold on. Fitzpatrick was 8-6-0-0-0. Kazee was 8-4-0-0-0. TJ Watt was 7-2, 2 sacks, 0 and 1 forced fumble. Even though that one of the fourth fumble that we lost, they recovered that one and got them, but they didn't score on it. The Eagles fumbled the fall three. They fumbled 3 times. They recovered 2 of them. They recovered 2 of them and lost 1, and they only got the 3. Well, no, I think they fumbled 3 times, lost all 3, but defense kept them contained. But on 1, they only got 3 points off. Okay, Wilson with 5-2-0-0-0. Haywood with 5-3-0-0-0. Porter was 5-0-0-0. Roberts was 4-2-0-0-0. Benton was 4-4-0-0-0. Pierre was 4-1-0-0-0. Jackson was 3-0-0-0-0. Adams was 2-0-0-0-0. Loudermilk was 2-2-0-0-0. Bishop was 2-1-0-0-0. Smith was 2-2-0-0-0. Herbig was 2-1-0-0-0. Lowry was 1-1-0-0-0. Sultan was 1-1-0-0-0. And Robinson was 0-0-0-0-1, 1 forced fumble. Okay, Patterson. This is kick returns. 2 returns for 65 yards, 32.5 with the long, 33 with the long, no score. Punting, they had no punting. But the kicking was C. Boswell. He was 2 for 2 at the free throw, at the field goals. His average was 43.0. He had the long was 49, no blocks, and 1 extra point. And punting, Waitman was 5 TOTs, 215 yards, 43.0 was the average, 49 was the long, no touchbacks, and 2 inside the 20. Okay, now I see you guys got the statistics on that. Let's go and get with Detroit and the situation with Detroit. Detroit lost yesterday. They first lost in many moons. They lost to the Buffalo Bills. I think it was 45-38. I think that was the score. I could be wrong on the score, but I'm just glad that Detroit lost their second game. Now the Eagles are tied with Detroit with the overall best record in the division. Detroit got to lose one more game. They got to lose one game against the NFC, against the NFC opponent. And once they get that loss, the Eagles will have the #1 seed in the NFC. Detroit had to come into Philadelphia, but a lot has to fall in our favor for us to have the #1 seed. Right now we're #2. We clinched the playoff berth, but we had not won the division because the Commanders won yesterday. They beat the Saints. I think it was 20-17, something like that. I could be wrong about the score, but the Commanders won. They came back on the last minute in the fourth quarter and won the game not by a field goal, but by a touchdown pass. So we got to face the Commanders tomorrow, next week in Washington. We got to go to Washington and beat them in Washington. So, and the Washington Commanders are pretty good at home. They ain't got many home losses, so they got a pretty good average at home this season. So the Eagles had to go to Washington and win that game. Then we got our last 2 final games against the Cowboys and the New York Giants, respectively, in Philadelphia. So the Eagles should be able to sweep the division. They should. We'll sweep that for sure, and the Giants for sure. But Washington is the issue. If we can beat Washington at home, that'll give us the division sweep, and that'll also give us. If we beat Washington, we'll win the division, the NFC East division crown. That's for sure. So we're going to beat them, because if they had lost, if the Saints had beaten them yesterday, it would have been an easy game for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the overall division conference championship. I'm not know what I'm saying. I mean the division championship. But once they get that out the way, then I think the Eagles are going to start resting players. Probably after the Washington game. I think the Eagles are going to rest players if they beat Washington. If they beat Washington next Sunday, the Eagles are going to start resting players between the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys game. So a lot of players are going to get rested, especially Saquon Barkley, who's been beat up this year. A lot of y'all guys out there wanted that man to run for 2,000 yards. I pray and hope that he don't get 2,000 yards, because there is a streak of running backs who have rushed for 2,000 yards, and the season don't be the same afterwards. It's either an injury or they don't have the season that they don't have that explosiveness that they once had at the beginning of the season. So I'm hoping they don't get. I do not want Saquon to get 2,000 yards rushing. That's just my opinion, because ask Adrian Peterson, ask I forgot that running back the Eagles, the Texans drafted in the first round out of University of Tennessee. I forgot his name, but he has 2,000 yard season. Next year he had an injury. Adrian Peterson had an injury after going over 2,000 yards. Then you had what's the board name for Titans? Charlie Johnson, somewhere there. I don't know his name was Johnson. He had 2,000 yards. He had no season-ending injury, but he wasn't the same after going over 2,000. So then Dixon the same way. Dixon had 2,000 yards rushing. And the same could be said for OJ Simpson. God bless his heart. He had 2,000 yards rushing. Matter of fact, he was the first 2,000 yard rusher. The next following year, he wasn't the same. He didn't have an injury, but he wasn't the same back after over 2,000 yards rushing. So you had all these running backs who gone for 2,000 yard rushing have not been the same afterwards. Either have been by injury the following year, or they didn't have that burst that made them what they were when they either drafted or came in via free agency. So I don't want him going 2,000 yards. That's just my opinion. I'm praying, hope that he doesn't. I hope I get my wish there. But man, this has been a good season for the Philadelphia Eagles, 12-2. You can't beat that. A lot of people out there biting their gums and chomping their biting their lip and chomping their tongues, trying to keep from saying anything negative about the Philadelphia Eagles. They ain't got nothing to say. They're quiet. They are quiet. Cause last year and the beginning of this year, they were talking trash, talking 100% trash. But now when I get to talking, when I get to ranting, see, one thing about me, I don't trash talk, I do rant. And but when we Eagles fans get to ranting and putting you in your place about the trash talk that you started at the beginning of the year or prior last year, then you get mad and get pissed off. You don't want to say anything, so you get quiet, because you know we're right. See, the Eagles fans are legit. We don't play. We talk trash at the beginning of the season, and we talk trash during the season and the off season, and we talk trash year round. And one reason why I'm an Eagle fan, diehard Eagle fan, and I'm gonna stay that way till the day I die. Matter of fact, when I'm buried, I'm gonna get buried in the Philadelphia Eagles jersey. That's how I want my burial to be, and that's the way I'm staying. I'm saying it now, and I'm sticking with that. So with that being said, this is your boy, the Almighty Green Talents, bringing you a video and bringing you a statistic week. I think let's see what week this is. I think this is week 15. I believe this week 15. Let me see. I think this is week 15. I believe. If it ain't week 15, it's week. Yeah, I think it's week 14. Okay, this is week 14. Yeah, I'm right. This is week 15. So this is week 15 of the NFL draft. 3 more games to go in the season, guys. And I am out of here. Enjoy your Monday morning. Peace. Or should I say, mwah.